Here's the scene. You pull into your own driveway after 10 hours of contract work. Your back aches. Your hands smell like machine oil. You're thinking about a shower, maybe leftover chili. Then you see it, a silver Honda you don't recognize, parked right behind your wife's car. You walk in through the side door, the one that doesn't squeak, and there's your wife sitting at the kitchen table with another woman. Your wife's phone is angled between them, screen bright. They both look up. They both go quiet. Not the kind of quiet where a conversation ends naturally, the kind where it gets killed mid-sentence. Your wife says, "We're just talking." And on that screen, you catch it before she tilts it away, your name. Your full name. And a thread underneath it, comments stacked deep, strangers picking apart your life like it's a crossword puzzle. That's what happened to me. My name is Arlo Tuttle. That was my kitchen. My wife Coretta. And that woman at the table was Abel McBride's wife, my wife's brother's wife, the one who married into money and never let anyone forget it. I'm 42. For 11 years, I ran a machine shop off Leavenworth Street in Omaha. Built it from a lease on a concrete box and a used CNC lathe I bought with borrowed money. For 11 years, that shop was my identity. I was the guy who made things, fixed things. Customers drove 40 miles because I did precision work nobody else would touch. 3 months before that night in the kitchen, I filed Chapter 7. The shop was gone. Contracts dried up during the supply chain mess. 2 big clients went under owing me money I'll never see. And by the time I pulled the plug, I was 6 months behind on the equipment loans. Coretta and I moved from our house in Benson to a rental off Dodge Street. 2 bedrooms, thin walls, a furnace that groaned every time it kicked on. Coretta's a dental hygienist. Steady work, steady paycheck. And since the bankruptcy, steady resentment. I felt it in the way she said, "Dinner's ready," flat, like she was announcing a bus departure. I felt it when I'd reach for her at night, and she'd shift away, back turned, already pretending to sleep. But I told myself, she's tired. She's carrying the weight. Give her time. That night in the kitchen, I stood there staring at the phone she'd turned face down on the table. Abel's wife. She had this look, half embarrassed, half thrilled, like someone caught passing a note in class. What was on the screen, Coretta? Nothing. Girl talk. I saw my name. Abel's wife stood up, grabbed her purse. I should go? Thanks for the tea, Cor. She practically ran out. Coretta looked at me with those eyes, the ones that used to make me drive across town to bring her lunch. Arlo, you're being paranoid. It's a support group. Wives going through financial stress. I'm allowed to have friends. I wanted to believe her. So I did. For about a week. Thursday evening. I'm cleaning the gutters, something I'd been putting off because climbing a ladder after a 10-hour day feels like punishment. My phone buzzes. It's Willard Upchurch. Willard and I go back to college. Played intramural softball together, stayed friends. He's a cop now, works out of the downtown precinct. "Brother," he says, and his voice has that careful tone people use before delivering news they don't want to give. "Your wife's been posting in some local Facebook group. Screenshots are getting passed around. Guys at my precinct showed me." My stomach drops. "What kind of posts?" "The kind with your name on them. Your shop name. The bankruptcy amount. She wrote that you." "Hang on, let me read it." Sits in the back room staring at the wall while I work doubles to keep us afloat. There's like 400 comments, man. People you know have seen it. I'm standing on the ladder holding a wad of wet leaves. The sky over Omaha is that flat gray it gets in early spring. I can hear the TV through the window, Coretta watching something, laughing. 400 comments. My name. My bankruptcy. My failure. Itemized and annotated by my own wife for strangers to dissect. I climb down. Sit on the bottom rung. Hands on my knees. Stay there until the porch light clicks off. That night, I find the group. Omaha Wives, Real Talk. 3,000 members. And there's Coretta, posting under her real name like she's proud of it. I scroll. Post after post. The bankruptcy amount, down to the dollar. How I promised 6 figures by year 5, and it's year 8. How I come home smelling like metal and sit in the back room, like a ghost. How she's embarrassed when her coworkers ask about the shop. How she caught me, and here's the one that makes my hands shake, crying in the shower last Tuesday. That was real. That happened. A Tuesday morning when the weight of everything crushed me for about 90 seconds, and I thought the sound of the water would cover it. She heard. And she didn't come in, didn't ask if I was okay, didn't mention it. She saved it, filed it away, then handed it to 400 strangers like a party favor. Kitchen counter, 1 a.m. Coffee mug I never filled just sitting there. I stare at the window, and my reflection stares back. A 42-year-old man whose wife is selling his worst moments for likes. Friday morning. I walk into the kitchen. She's eating yogurt, scrolling her phone. We need to talk about the Facebook group. She doesn't look up. What group? The one where you told strangers I cry in the shower. Now she looks up. And here's what I didn't expect. Not guilt. Not embarrassment. Anger. Immediate, automatic, like flipping a switch. Maybe if you hadn't run the business into the ground, I wouldn't need to vent. She stands up, points the yogurt spoon at me. And who told you? Who are you talking to? You're on your phone all the time now. Are you seeing someone? Coretta, I just asked you about. No, answer me. Who are you texting? Let me see your phone. You put our private life online for hundreds of people, and now you want to check my phone. Because you're acting different. Distant. Secretive. She's pacing now. You come home late, you go straight to the back room, you barely talk to me. I come home late because I'm working. Picking up every contract I can find so we can get back on our feet. Oh, so now it's we? Because from where I'm standing, you put us here, Arlo. She grabs her keys and leaves for her shift. The yogurt sits on the counter, half-eaten. I stand there replaying what just happened. I came in with a question. I left accused of cheating. She put our life on the internet, and somehow I'm the one on trial. Stay with me here, because that was just the beginning. The fights go daily. Not about real things, about how I loaded the dishwasher wrong, about me parking too far from the curb, about the thermostat being at 69 instead of 70. Each one starts small and turns into a referendum on the bankruptcy, on the shop, on every promise I ever made. Remember when you said we'd renovate the kitchen? Remember when you said we'd go to Costa Rica? Remember when you said, I remember, Coretta. Do you? Because promises are easy. Results are hard. I fixed the furnace that Saturday. 3 hours on my knees in the crawl space, replacing the igniter. When I come up, covered in dust, she's on the couch texting. Furnace works now. She doesn't look up. I'm home. That night, I try. I sit next to her on the couch. Put my hand on her knee. She moves it. You always want something. I just worked a double. I'm not trying to, Arlo. Not tonight. I go to the back room. She follows. Not to apologize, to continue. And another thing. That contract in Bellevue you were so excited about? How much did it actually pay? $1,800. For how many hours? Does it matter? It matters because I can do the math, and the math says you're making less than minimum wage while I carry everything. She folds her arms. My coworker's husband just made partner at his firm. Abel just bought a boat. And you're out there grinding metal for pocket change. I say nothing. She stands in the doorway waiting for me to defend myself, to fight back, to give her something to push against. I've got nothing left to push with. But when I go quiet and walk to the far wall, she follows me there too. She doesn't want the fight to end. She needs to see me stay. Next morning, Saturday, I'm replacing the brake pads on her car. She comes outside holding coffee, just one cup, for herself, and leans against the garage door frame. My friend at work? Her husband got promoted last week. They're looking at houses in Elkhorn now. Good for them. She said something interesting. She said the difference between men who rebuild and men who stall is that the ones who rebuild don't wait for permission. I slide out from under the car. Is that what you think I'm doing? Waiting for permission? I think you're comfortable being uncomfortable. And that scares me. I filed bankruptcy 3 months ago, Coretta. I'm not comfortable with anything. I'm surviving. See, that's what I mean. You survive. You endure. But you don't move. I stand up. Wipe my hands on a rag. I've picked up 4 contracts this month. And how much did they bring in? Enough. Enough isn't a number, Arlo. I look at her. She's got that expression, the one that says she already decided the answer before she asked the question. I go back under the car. After a minute, I hear her walk inside. Sunday afternoon. Abel McBride's wife comes over. I'm in the garage organizing tools when I hear them through the open window. Abel's wife. I told you, Cor. A real partnership is about momentum. You're stalling. Coretta, I know. Abel's wife. You deserve what I have. Don't settle. They go quiet when I walk through the kitchen for water. Abel's wife gives me that smile, polite, pitying, the kind you give a stranger who's struggling with a vending machine. That Tuesday, barbecue at Abel's house. It's his birthday. I don't want to go, but Coretta insists. We need to be normal. I stand by the grill with Abel, who's talking about his boat, and whether Palantir stock has peaked. Coretta's across the yard with Abel's wife and Eugenia Hale, Coretta's oldest friend, the one who's been whispering, "You deserve better," into her ear since the day the shop closed. I hear Coretta laugh. Then Eugenia says something. Then all three of them laugh harder. And I catch Coretta's voice, carrying across the yard, "Starter husbands." That's what my mother called them. The practice round. 6 feet away. I'm standing 6 feet away. Dale hears it. The guy flipping burgers hears it. Everyone heard it. And I watch Coretta glance over at me, not to check if I'm hurt, to check if I'm still there. That night, the overlook off the highway, city lights below, Omaha spread out like a circuit board. I sit in my truck. Phone dark. Engine off. Just breathing. She started accusing me of cheating the same week those posts went up. She's been going through my phone, my truck, my pockets. I haven't done a single thing wrong. But she has. She put our bedroom on the internet, and then turned around and interrogated me like I'm the one hiding something. People who are doing wrong, they're the first ones to point the finger. I sit there until the overlook goes empty. Then I pull up Ned Quarles' number. Ned and I went to Uno together, lost touch for years, reconnected when he saw the bankruptcy filing. He runs a contracting firm. You still serious about that partnership? I ask. Been serious since I called you. When do you want to start? I already started. I've got 3 proposals drafted and a lead on the Bellevue commercial job. He's quiet for a second. Then, you've been working on this in silence. Didn't have anyone to tell. Wednesday, something shifts. Coretta comes home from work, and she's different. Softer. She brings takeout from that Thai place I like on Farnham Street. Sets the table. Lights a candle. I've been thinking, she says, pushing pad thai toward me. About us. I've been hard on you, Arlo. I know that. I look at her. Her eyes are shiny. She reaches across and touches my hand. I miss us. The way we used to be. Before everything got heavy. And something in my chest cracks open. Because I miss it too. I miss the woman who used to leave notes in my toolbox. Who drove to the shop at midnight to bring me coffee when I was behind on a job. I want to believe this is real. I miss us too, I say. She squeezes my hand. Let's try? Okay, let's just try. We eat. She tells me about a patient who came in with a stock printout asking if his teeth were worth investing in, and I laugh, an actual laugh, the kind I haven't felt in weeks. For 2 hours, it feels like the kitchen in our old house. I think, maybe the posts stop. Maybe the comparisons end. Maybe she looked at what she was doing and saw it for what it was. Thursday morning. I wake up and she's already gone. No note. No text. When she comes home that evening, she walks past me without a word. Cold. Distant. Eyes on her phone. How was your day? I ask. Fine. Coretta, last night was last night. I've got things on my mind. I check the group later. New post, timestamped noon. Fresh material. This time about how I clung to her hand at dinner like a drowning man. 57 laughing reactions. Eugenia commented a row of clapping emojis. The tenderness was research. She was collecting new material. You know that feeling when someone hands you hope and you realize afterward they were just winding you up to watch you fall. That's what pad thai night was. A field study. The next week, Coretta tries again. Different angle this time. She comes home from work on Tuesday, sits on the edge of the bed where I'm reading supplier catalogs, and starts crying. Not loud, quiet, real sounding, the kind that makes your ribs ache. I called my mom today, she says. She asked how we were doing, and I couldn't answer. I just sat in my car in the parking lot for 20 minutes. I put the catalog down. Coretta, I know I've been mean. I know I've been posting things I shouldn't. I deleted the group app off my phone. Just now, in the car. It's done. My guard is up, but the crying, it doesn't sound performed. It sounds like the woman I married, scared and honest, the version of her I haven't seen in months. I put my arm around her. She leans into me, and I feel her shoulders shaking, and I think, this time it's real. She's finally seeing it. We can work on this, I say, but you have to stop. The posts, the comparisons, I know. I'm done. I promise. Here's where the story takes a turn I didn't see coming. Thursday. I'm at the Buck He's off I-80 picking up supplies for a job site. Ned told me to grab some quick-set epoxy, and I figured I'd fill the truck while I'm there. Standing in line, I pull up my phone, and there's a notification. New post in Omaha Wives, Real Talk. Coretta's name. Posted an hour ago. Same account, same group, same real name. Update. Told him I deleted the app. He believed me. Ladies, sometimes you just need them to think you're trying. It buys you breathing room. 43 laughing reactions in 1 hour. Top comment, Strategic Queen. I stand there in a gas station in the middle of Nebraska, trucks rumbling past, fluorescent lights buzzing overhead, and I feel something settle in my chest. Not anger, not pain, something colder and quieter. The last thread of hope, snapping clean. She didn't delete anything. She used the deletion as content. 2 weeks pass. I stop reaching for her. Not a strategy, I just run out of reach. I come home, I eat. I go to the back room where I work on proposals and contracts until midnight. Monday, she leaves a sandwich outside the back room door. I find it when I come out at 11. Unwrapped. Cold. I eat it standing at the counter, and when she appears in the hallway in her robe, I say, "Thanks for the sandwich," and walk past her to bed. She stands there. I can feel her staring at the back of my head, waiting for more. There is no more. Wednesday, she knocks on the back room door while I'm on a call with a steel supplier. "Are you going to sit in there all night?" "Yep." "This is ridiculous. You're acting like a child." Silence. "Arlo, talk to me." "You want to talk?" "Delete the posts. The real ones. Not a performance." "I don't know what you're." "Then we've got nothing to talk about." She stands outside the door. I hear her breathing, the floorboard creaking under her weight. Then she walks away. Friday night. I come home from a site visit with Ned. Coretta's on the couch, TV on, half a glass of wine on the table. She doesn't look up when I walk in. "There's leftover chicken in the fridge," she says, voice neutral. "Thanks." I heat it up. Eat at the counter. She watches me from the couch. I can see her reflection in the kitchen window, her head turning to track me. I finish, wash the plate, and head to the back room. "Arlo." I stop. "Do you even want to be here anymore?" I look at her. She's curled into the corner of the couch, and for a second she looks small, and something in me wants to sit down next to her and say, "Yes, I want to be here. I want this to work." But then I remember Strategic Queen, with 43 laughing reactions, and the feeling passes like a car through an intersection, there and gone. "I don't know," I say, and I mean it. She turns back to the TV. The next morning, a new post. "He won't even fight for us anymore. Just shuts down. Am I wrong for wanting a man who shows up?" 212 comments. The top one. "Girl, you already know the answer." I don't read the rest. I've got a proposal to finish. Here's what Coretta doesn't know. What nobody knows except Ned and me. The contract work isn't random gigs. It's us building a business. 3 months of client meetings, supplier calls, proposals that I draft in that back room between 10 p.m. and midnight. $40,000 in committed contracts. A signed partnership agreement. Tuttle and Quarles Fabrication, LLC. While she was posting about my failures, I was building the replacement for the thing that failed. She thought I was staring at the wall. I was staring at a future she didn't bother to look for. Friday, late afternoon. I'm parked at the Overlook again. City lights just starting to flicker on. I open Coretta's Facebook. New post, 2 hours ago. "Ladies, when your husband tries to initiate and you're just lying there thinking about your to-do list. Is that normal, or is that my sign?" 200 likes. Comments from strangers dissecting my desire, my vulnerability, the most private moments of my marriage, broadcast for engagement. I read 3 comments and close the app. My jaw is tight. My hands are steady. I call Edmund Thornton. He's a family attorney Ned recommended. Quiet guy, thorough. "I want to start separation paperwork." I say. "You sure?" "I'm sure. Come in Monday morning. Bring everything." Monday morning. I sit in Edmund's office with a folder 3 inches thick. Every screenshot. Every post. Every comment thread. He goes through it slow, turning pages, occasionally shaking his head. "She used your full name? And the business name? And the bankruptcy amount? And this was a public group? 3,000 members." He sets the folder down. "This helps you, Arlo. This helps you a lot." I know it does. That's the part that makes me sick, that her cruelty is now my leverage. But I didn't ask for this. I didn't want evidence. I wanted a wife who didn't sell my pain for comments. That week I signed the partnership papers with Ned. We shake hands in his office, and he claps me on the shoulder and says, "You survived worse than most people can imagine. This is the easy part." I don't tell Coretta. Not about Edmund. Not about Ned. Not about the 40,000 in contracts. She checks my phone twice that week. I see her going through it when she thinks I'm in the shower. She finds nothing, because everything is on my laptop in the back room, in a folder called Supplier Quotes that she'd never click on. Wednesday night. I'm in the back room working on a bid for a commercial project in La Vista when I hear Coretta on the phone in the kitchen. Eugenia. I can tell by the rhythm. Coretta talks faster when she's with Eugenia, like she's performing. No, he's in there again. Door closed. I don't even know what he does in there. I know. Eugenia, you're right. You've been right this whole time. I sit in the back room, their conversation bleeding through the wall, and I type the finishing numbers on a contract that will pay more in 1 month than my old shop cleared in 3. She thinks I'm staring at a wall. I'm building the door she doesn't see yet. Friday evening. Coretta comes home from Abel's, door slamming, purse hitting the counter. She's been with Abel's wife and Eugenia. I can always tell. She comes back charged, restless, pacing before she even takes off her jacket. We need to talk about our future, she says. Abel's wife says we should really look at where we're headed, because from the outside, I already did. She stops. What? Talked to Edmund Thornton this morning. Who is Edmund Thornton? My attorney. The color drains from her face. Not anger, something behind it. Something she rehearsed for, but didn't expect to actually arrive. I set the separation paperwork on the kitchen table. Clean, printed, already reviewed. Next to it, the partnership agreement, my name and Ned's, the business structure, the contract list. And next to that, the folder. Every post, every comment, every private moment she broadcast to strangers. You kept a list of everything I did wrong. I say. I kept one too. The difference is mine has evidence. She picks up the screenshots, flips through them. Her hands are shaking, not the way mine shook reading them the first time. Hers shake because she's watching every word she typed come back with a weight she never expected. Arlo, those were private. For 100 people, Coretta? That's not private. That's a broadcast. I was venting. I was upset. You don't understand what it's been like for me. While I what? Rebuilt? Signed contracts? Drafted proposals in the room you told strangers I was staring at walls in? She looks at the partnership agreement. Reads the contract total. Looks up at me. You did all this? When? Every night. In the back room. Why didn't you tell me? Because the last time I told you my plans, you turned them into a punchline for strangers. 6 figures by year 5. You remember every promise I made. You just never noticed when I started keeping new ones. Arlo, you told Eugenia I cry in the shower. That was mine, Coretta. That moment was mine. And you gave it away for engagement. She sits down. The fight's gone out of her, not because she's giving up, but because she's doing the math. Everything she posted, every detail she broadcast, every stranger who weighed in, she already told 400 people this marriage was over. She just forgot to tell me. I didn't mean for it to. You called me a starter husband. At Abel's barbecue. 6 feet from where I was standing. That was a joke. Then you won't mind when I take it seriously. Silence. The kind that fills a kitchen like cold fills a room when the furnace dies. She stares at the papers. I stare at her. And for the first time in months, I'm not shaking. I'm not confused. I'm not the man she described in those posts. I'm not doing this to punish you. I say. I'm doing this because you punished me in public, over and over, and called it support. You broadcast my worst moments and called it venting. And then you accused me of hiding things while you were the one performing for an audience. She doesn't answer. Her eyes are wet. She picks up the partnership agreement one more time, reads it again, sets it down like it's hot. You built this without me, she says, barely above a whisper. You made it clear I was on my own. I just finally agreed with you. I pick up the folder, the agreement, the paperwork, walk to the back room, close the door, not to stare at the wall, to call Ned and tell him we start Monday. Next morning, I drive across town to the new office, a converted warehouse near the rail yard. Ned's been fitting it out for weeks. The sign on the door reads Tuttle and Quarles Fabrication. My name first, because Ned insisted. You're the one who knows metal, he said. I'm the guy who knows contractors. I park. Sit there for a second. Morning light on the building, the smell of coffee from the shop next door, traffic on the overpass. Someone's car radio drifting through an open window. Something about long TSA lines at airports, the kind of headline that scrolls past without sticking. It sticks today. Everything does. The world keeps moving, and for the first time in months, I'm moving with it. My phone buzzes. Notification from the group. Coretta's latest post, timestamped 3:17 a.m., He changed overnight. I don't even know who he is anymore. I read it once. Lock the phone. Walk inside. He didn't change overnight. She just never checked. Dear listeners, that's our ending. If it resonated, subscribe to support the channel. See you next time.